today on Rappler. Chinese ships briefly blocked the rescue of Filipino fishermen in the West Philippine Sea. Pagcor says a former cabinet official tried to facilitate the licenses of illegal POGOs. Vice President Sara Duterte says she didn't request confidential funds for her 2025 budget. A Russian disinformation network's AI-generated anti-Biden video reaches millions. The far-right party of Marine Le Pen wins the first round in France's snap elections. Carla Abellana says her divorce from Tom Rodriguez is now recognized by Philippine courts. And Kris Aquino opens up about her split with Mark Leviste and reveals she is dating someone new. Chinese ships attempted to block the Philippine Coast Guard's rescue mission of a Filipino fishing boat on Saturday, June 29. The PCG was responding to an incident in waters near Bajo de Masinloc after Filipino fishing boat Aquino's engine exploded, leaving 2 injured. Bajo de Masinloc is a traditional fishing ground for fisherfolk from the Philippines, China, and Vietnam. PCG spokesman for National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela says the PCG was able to outmaneuver China's rigid-hull inflatable boats meant to, quote, obstruct and hinder efforts in rescuing the fishermen. PCG spokesman Rear Admiral Armand Balillo says China issued radio challenges, shadowed and blocked Philippine vessels before eventually helping in the rescue operations. The PCG says it provided medical assistance to 2 fishermen who suffered second-degree burns and gave food and medical aid to all 8 on board. The Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, or Pagcor, says a former cabinet official tried to facilitate the grant of gaming licenses to some Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs, that were later raided by the authorities. Pagcor Chief Alejandro Tenco will reportedly reveal the person's identity in the proper forum. No other details were given. Pagcor has a mandate of ensuring only those with valid licenses are allowed to operate in gambling or gaming activities. Tenco says that during his agency's cleansing process, most POGOs were found to be ineligible and outright suspicious. POGOs thrived under the administration of former President Rodrigo Duterte, who cited the supposed economic benefits of POGOs. The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, or PAOC, points to lazy regulation as a key factor in the proliferation of illegal POGOs. Human trafficking, kidnapping, murder, torture, scams, and prostitution have been linked to POGOs. Vice President Sara Duterte says her office didn't request confidential funds from the 2025 national budget. Duterte was under fire over the confidential funds issue, especially after it was learned that the Office of the President transferred 125 million pesos in confidential funds to the OVP in 2022. Duterte had requested for 500 million pesos in confidential funds for the OVP in 2024, but dropped her bid amid public outrage. Meantime, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. admits he's having a difficult time choosing the next Department of Education secretary given the demands of the job and the valid concerns of stakeholders. The position was vacated by Duterte just the past week. 2 days earlier, Marcos told the media he would announce his new education chief by the weekend. Marcos backtracked, saying, "It turns out it's harder than I thought because we absolutely have to get it right, so I'm giving myself more time." Wired reports Russia-affiliated disinformation network Doppelganger spread an anti-Biden video on X with the aid of generative AI. The Bye Bye Biden video parodies U.S. presidential candidates Joe Biden and Donald Trump. It depicts Biden as a senile old man who rides wheelchairs, wears diapers, and can't steer a bicycle. The video also parrots false allegations that Trump's votes in the 2020 elections were stolen and paints Biden as a corrupt politician. An actor plays the role of the two, whose features were made to look like the rivals using AI. Analysis by Anti-Bot for Navalny reveals the video reached 6.5 million users and was seen by 5 million. The group also finds 4,000 posts promoting the video using a network of 25,000 X accounts. Wired writes, as the Kremlin ramps up efforts to undermine the US election in November, it is clear that Russia is willing to utilize AI technologies. France's far-right National Rally, or RN Party, wins the first round of parliamentary elections on Sunday, June 30. Exit polls show the RN won around 34% of the vote, left-wing New Popular Front Alliance won 29%, while President Emmanuel Macron's Together Alliance won only about 20% of the vote. This is a huge setback for Macron, who called the snap election after his ticket loss to the RN in the European Parliament elections in early June. The RN is now closer to power than it's ever been, as its leader Marine Le Pen has sought to clean up the image of a party known for racism and anti-Semitism, a tactic that has worked amid voter anger at Macron, the high cost of living, and growing immigration concerns. The second round of the elections will be held on July 7, which will determine the party that will control France's parliament. Carla Abellana confirms the Philippine court now recognizes her divorce from ex-husband Tom Rodriguez. In an interview with Boy Abunda, Carla says, quote, "We are divorced. That's been recognized by our local court here in the Philippines." Tom, who is a U.S. citizen, flew to the United States in June 2022 to obtain a divorce decree. But the ex-couple had to file for recognition for foreign divorce in a Philippine court for the dissolution of their marriage to take effect in the Philippines. Carla says she hasn't spoken with Tom since 2022, adding she'd prefer to keep it that way. In June 2022, Carla opened up about her relationship with Tom, saying she'd been hurt and betrayed. She says she is no longer angry at Tom and has forgiven him. Carla and Tom were married in October 2021 after dating for 7 years. Kris Aquino talks about her split with Batangas Vice Governor Mark Leviste and confirms she is dating someone new. In an interview with OG Diaz, Kris reveals she is dating a doctor based in Makati but declines to give additional details. She says dating the doctor is easier because, quote, "he understands what I'm going through." Kris also emphasizes the importance of her son's opinions on her relationships, disclosing her youngest son Bimby and her ex-boyfriend did not get along that well. In the vlog, Kris also shares that she might have the go signal to return to the Philippines if the results of her upcoming tests are clear, saying, quote, "Hopefully I'll be back before Christmas." Since 2018, Kris has been battling a number of autoimmune diseases. She went to the US to receive treatment in June 2022 and has been there since. And that's today's wrap. I'm Kara Oliver. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.